Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love Island UK, Season 11, Episode 38.
Listen, I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment. You ready to walk us through this episode, Blair?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
So we left off last episode, Mimi on her knees on the terrace.
Yeah.
So Joey calls Io over to him and tells him that Mimi wants to meet you up on the terrace. Io keeps telling Joey, no. Wow. I can't do it.
Wow.
I can't do it.
Wow.
Joey even walks him up and tries to get him walk up the stairs to the terrace. And Io is like, no. So Jess, in the meantime, is asking Josh how his conversation with Mimi went.
Yeah.
And he said things are good. He is taking a risk by trying to pursue her. But Io made him feel like there was nothing there when it came to them.
Okay.
And Jess said what Matilda told her as far as their feelings are being considered. And that's the only reason they're not pursuing each other. So Joey keeps trying to convince Io to have the conversation with Mimi.
Yeah.
And Io says, honestly, you can tell her to come down and she can meet with me anywhere in the garden to have this conversation, just not on the terrace. Joey goes to Mimi and tells her that Io said to come downstairs to have the conversation. And Mimi said, that's fair.
During this time, Mimi is sitting on the floor. She's running to the door, hearing them talk, running back to the terrace on the floor, looking over and things of that nature. People are looking up. I think Connor and Ruben were sitting next to each other. They was like, somebody's up there on the terrace and things like that. We can't see you. It looks like somebody sitting on the floor. You know what I'm saying? It's just a whole bunch of things. What is your thoughts, Blair, on this scene?
I think that Io made the right decision. Going up on the terrace is a statement.
Okay.
It's a statement of romance and seclusion. And I get that Mimi's point was that she just wanted them to have a private conversation without anybody looking at them. But to me, that means that Mimi was looking for an opportunity for them to slide back into the old thing that they had. And I was just so disgusted. I was like, Mimi, get off the floor.
No, stay on the floor.
Oh my goodness. But I was happy that Io actually made a decision and was just like, that's not happening. So
I think Io just had a conversation with Josh not too long ago. He just had a conversation with Jess not too long ago in the last episode. So to do that and to immediately go upstairs and have a private conversation with Mimi, that will leave him in a position where he have to explain himself.
Right.
I think he's tired of explaining himself because he already do not do that good enough. You get what I'm saying? So now I'm confused. Well, I'm not confused because I know who Mimi is. Listen here, the saying is, once somebody show you who they are, believe them. You get what I'm saying? Mimi's now on the floor and now she's talking to Joey and things of that nature, saying, you know what? Yeah, that makes sense. Like,
so then what are you doing?
Exactly. Why are you on the floor? And I'm like, maybe it's not about Io as much as it's about power. Because now I have to now do backflips and gymnastics in my head to try to understand, to try to rationalize her moves. And down the line, once we get to that conversation, I will explain to you maybe my theory of why it's not so much about Io, but maybe it's about power. Let's go.
So Jess and Io have a conversation. Jess is crying.
Okay.
She tells Io what Matilda said about they would probably get to know each other if they weren't considering the feelings of Josh and Jess.
Okay.
Io says that there's nothing more that he wants more than to be with Jess.
That's crazy.
Io says that if I haven't told you whatever these people are saying, don't listen to it.
That's true.
So Mimi comes down and it looks like she's about to make a beeline to Io to try to have this conversation. And Joey intercepts her and says, he's talking to Jess right now. You might just kind of want to hang back for a second. So Joey's over there like, what do you want me to do? She's here. And Io literally yells across the villa, that's dead.
That's dead.
He tells Jess that he is not trying to revisit the situation with Mimi. Josh tells Joey that it's really on Mimi when it comes to the situation with Io. He says that he knows where Io stands. Josh likes Mimi, but he doesn't know if she'll wake up one day wanting Io.
Okay.
So finally, Mimi and Io have this conversation.
Io's talking, and she's kind of like, you want to chat? Okay. What do you want to talk about, Mimi?
So Mimi said the terrace conversation was basically so they wouldn't have any eyes on them while they talked.
Except for cameras.
Right. Io said that things have spiraled out over what people are saying. And he said, from our last conversation, I thought we said that we were going to leave the past in the past.
Okay.
Io feels that, you know, where we're at and what we're doing is basically where we're supposed to be. He's like, I don't want there to be any confusion about where we're at. We're getting to know other people.
Okay.
Mimi says that she put her feelings to the side, but sometimes they're banging on the door. Remember what I said last episode about her feelings bubbling to the surface from time to time?
Mm-hmm.
So this is exactly what she's saying.
Okay.
It's hard for her to keep her feelings to the side.
Go ahead, Blair.
She said there's too many people involved in the situation. She wants Ayo sometimes, but she's scared of the mess that could happen if they decided to go back to pursuing each other.
Yeah.
Ayo makes it clear to her, or in his way tries to make it clear to her, that our situation is not it. But Ayo says that things with Jess are going well and that he's just leaving it where it's at.
Yeah.
I feel like Ayo could have been even more direct, and I think that Mimi might need Ayo to be a little mean so that she can actually grasp what he's saying. I don't think she heard when he said that's dead. Or if she did hear it, maybe she didn't realize he was talking about her and their situation. But I wish he would have said that to her face. This is dead. There's nothing here.
You talking about that's dead when he yelled that at Joey?
Yeah.
I think he was talking about whatever plan we had right here, that's dead.
Oh, okay.
Dude, you get what I'm saying? Because, like, I got this girl crying on my shoulder. Whatever you about to come over and have, that's dead. The plan is dead.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Where you finished?
I'm done, yeah.
With Mimi, I would just ask the question, remember that conversation you had with Josh? And you said that you have to talk to Ayo, and Josh said about what? And then you was like to establish some boundaries or just to talk about it, to just, to nip some things in the butt. What did you nip?
Nothing.
You was quiet the whole time. So now, like, when y'all do have conversations, you don't say anything. You let Ayo lead the conversation. He rarely says anything. You get what I'm saying? He says a whole bunch of things, and he's and it's almost like he's closing the door, but he's not slamming the door.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
It's still unlocked, but it's closed.
And sometimes there's some times where you just have to slam the door. There was this girl that really liked me when I was a junior in high school. I had nothing for her, right? Nothing for her. Every time she saw me in school and things of that nature, she always used to do little things. And then on top of that, I have a pet peeve. I don't like when, like, adults act like kids. So, like, she would do little things, like she would, like, take my book and, like, run.
Well, you was 16.
Or like take my things and run. I'm not chasing you for my things. It's mine. You get what I'm saying? And then on top of that, I don't like you, right?
Yeah.
So eventually it got to the point where I just had to tell her flat out, I don't like you. You get what I'm saying? Could we be friends? No, we can't be friends because we never was friends. The whole initiation of this whole thing right here that you keep taking my stuff and running, right, is because you like me. So the thing about Ayo and Mimi, which they are playing us, is that they have no friendship to fall back to. They started off as a romantic thing, right, so they keep talking about being friends. Y'all was never friends. So like this whole thing of like we learning trying to be friends, no, y'all lying to us. Mimi, I saw you on the floor, stay down there, right? And Ayo, you need to be more direct and stop talking about feelings and start talking about, hey, it's over, I'm leaving it here, just so we can just keep count. By the way, this is the 4th time, maybe it's the 3rd time, but the 4th time helps my argument. It's the 4th time Ayo told you no, that he doesn't want to be with you, that it's Jessica. But maybe it's about power and not Ayo. I'm going to give y'all that theory later on in the episode.
All right. So it's bedtime.
Yeah.
And Ayo tells Kieran that he made it clear to Mimi that it's Jessica.
Wow.
He says, but Mimi, she still wants me.
Okay, player.
It's the next day. The Islanders receive a text that they are going to leave the villa for a party.
Yeah.
So they watch Jess Glynn perform some songs, and then she introduces the new bombshells.
Okay.
So we've got Lola, who is 22 and a model. We've got Harry, who is 25, and he is a cable engineer.
Both these bombshells are chopped to me.
So Harry chats with the girls. They all introduce themselves.
Yeah.
He shares that he's been single for 4 years, but he's had situationships. He is ready to stop playing around and wants to settle down at this point. His last relationship was about 18 months, 2 years, but he was pretty much cheating.
Oh, my goodness. But he said, I was young, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lola is talking to the guys. She has never been in a relationship. And Joey's asking her, do we know each other? And she's like, I've seen you on my Instagram stories here and there. So she thinks that maybe the guy's head could turn, everybody except Kieran and Sean.
Not the Candyman. Interesting.
So they switch spots, and Lola goes to talk to the girls. She tells the girls that she doesn't know Joey, but he has liked her Instagram posts in the past, and she also saw him in Ibiza last year.
Wow.
She thinks that she could turn Joey's head because of his track record, and Jesse pipes up and be like, well, he's turning that around. We will see, Jesse.
Okay. Interesting.
And Lola thinks that there might be some unfinished business between Ayo and Mimi. Mimi says, we put that to the side.
Stop right here. The thing about it is, what do you mean put it to the side? He said it is over.
Yeah.
He said it's Jessica. First of all, I don't understand why y'all are trying to correct the bombshells as if it's not their job to watch all the episodes leading up to this.
Right.
So if anything, they should take what the bombshell is saying as the gospel, because it is a rule that they have to watch every episode up to the point where they are introduced. So the fact that she's like, no, it's to the side. No, I saw you on the floor,
right,
waiting for Ayo to come up. And then when Joey came through, you was like, get down, get down. They are seeing the door open and close. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Harry thinks that Ayo and Josh are probably in the weakest couples right now because of the situation.
Wow.
Lola pulls Joey and Ruben for chats. They talk about their types, and basically Joey and Ruben are into good personalities, people that they can grow with.
Yeah.
Lola says that she's never had a boyfriend because she's very selective and she just hasn't met the right person yet.
Okay.
Joey asks her if she's a troublemaker, and she says she's not going to play it safe. Joey tells her, well, I'm not closed off. And he's going to keep doing his thing in the villa.
We know that, Joey.
My only commentary about that is, Lola, I hope you're not going to play it safe, because you ain't got time to play it safe. So go in there, steal somebody noteworthy, and let's get this thing popping.
But that's the thing. I think she's going to play it safe.
I feel like she is too, because I think the pressure of the girls get to people, and they don't want to cause no waves. They want to be cool with the girls and everything. Because, yeah. Well, Harry pulls Jess and Grace to the side. Yeah. Jess says that her couple is going well. Harry thinks that he can bring something better to Jess. He's like, y'all have too many of these little arguments, and it's way early in this situation that y'all are in.
That's facts. Y'all been arguing every day since Casa.
Yeah. Grace says that she is getting along great with Ruben. And they're wondering what Harry's type is, and he says, y'all all my type.
Wow.
Harry says that if he wants someone, he's going to make it known. He's not going to wait around for days like some of how these other dudes do. Yeah. He feels that he and Grace are in the same place in life and have maybe common interests. And Jess says, I can cut the sexual tension with a knife. I mean, and they are eyeing each other. They really are. Yeah. So Grace and Jess have a conversation to the side, and Grace is telling Jess, you're really irritated about this Mimi Ayo situation. You should pull Mimi to the side and talk to her about where her head is at, so that way you can put this to bed. Yeah. So Jess goes over and pulls Mimi for a chat. Okay. And Jess is like, I'm just trying to see how you're doing, like all the drama and all the gossip that's going around, as well as the challenge. Like, how are you feeling? And Mimi says that, with Ayo, they're at a point of trying to figure out if they should take a leap of faith or continue to explore their connections. Mimi says that when we have conversations, it just turns flirty. We don't really know how to be with each other. And she was trying to set boundaries. She kissed him in the challenge because it made the most sense, but she just says, I'm just confused though. Okay. Jess says the challenges don't matter to her because he's constantly reassuring her. And Mimi says, but the thing is, we really don't talk. I mean, we're kind of walking on eggshells around the villa. And Jess says, well, maybe y'all should talk so y'all can kind of clear out the situation.
They've been talking. What is your thoughts on that scene?
My thoughts on that scene is I just feel like the people in this house don't listen to each other. I'm like, Jess, if you really listen to Mimi, you can hear that Mimi still wants Ayo. But she's saying, yeah, the challenges don't matter to me and all that type of stuff. Mimi said that we're trying to figure out if we should take a leap of faith or explore our connections. I'm confused and all of our conversations are flirty. So what does that tell you, Jess? It tells you there is something there. There's clearly something there, and if there was an opportunity for Mimi to take action, she would take it.
Wow. Can I ask you a few questions, Blair?
Yeah.
Just a few?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think Mimi like Jess?
I think she's indifferent.
Indifferent?
Yeah.
Do you think that Mimi wants Ayo?
Yes.
Okay. So listen to the story time. I had a girl, right? I had a girl that I broke up with. Right? Okay. I had a girl that I broke up with. Right?
How many girls has my husband had?
I had a lot. Right?
Go ahead.
Listen, I'm a fun guy. Okay. Right. So I had a girl, and we was like together for like a good while, right? We broke up, and I broke up with her. That's the most important part of the story. I broke up with her. I caught her in a lie. She didn't cheat, but I don't like liars, especially when it's like over something stupid. You get what I'm saying? So I broke up with her. But y'all know that part of the relationship where it's gray area, to where when you supposed to break up, mind you, this was my first time breaking up with someone. So I didn't know how to operate in the breakup zone. You get what I'm saying? Like,
still kind of act like a couple.
Well, you know, like I should have just deleted the number.
Right.
I should have just not talked to them no more. But the thing about it was, I still was talking and things like that, and we still hung out every now and then. Not all the time, but every now and then. And we still was messing around. Yeah. Right. I remember one of the last times we messed around and things like that. I kind of drifted back into that boyfriend role. You get what I'm saying? And then she broke up with me. And I was confused literally at that moment. I was like, but we're not together. And she was like, you need to leave my house. And I was just very confused now.
All right.
Because now I'm getting thrown out the house. You get what I'm saying? And it let me know at that moment that, for one, I don't understand women. Even now that I'm older, y'all still kind of, you know, loopy. You know what I mean? But in that moment, I learned that when I broke up with her, to her, it was about power. It's about her getting some type of power back, in the sense of, you're not going to break up with me. I'm going to now be nicer to you after you broke up with me. I'm now going to be more friendly and all this other stuff. We even going to still mess around. And right when you begin to fall for that trap, I'm going to break up with you to leave you in some type of like foggy state. Right. So now Ayo been leaving. I'm about to connect it. Ayo been rejecting Mimi over and over and over and over again. And now this one, I can get over you rejecting me for Uma, because I like Uma. I learned to love Uma. Uma's my sister. You get what I'm saying? But you're gonna reject me for Jessica? I don't really like Jessica. I don't really know Jessica. I'm indifferent about Jessica, to your point, Blair, right? So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to be flirty with you, right? I want to get you to basically leave her. But at the end of the day, I'm going to leave you how you basically left me. Do you think this is potentially a theory?
I think it's potentially a theory, but I don't know why, but I just don't see Mimi having the forethought for that. I just don't see her thinking that far ahead to make those moves and those decisions. Yeah. Just even when it came to Casa and the conversation they had about still being open going into Casa, and Ayo saying that if anything happens, I'll keep you in the loop, and pretty much leaving it at that. Yeah. Like, I don't think Mimi is thinking ahead.
I thought so too, until this conversation. This conversation made me go, why are you telling this girl specifically that y'all conversations be flirty? Why are you being that detailed and that specific in that way? You could just leave it at we talk and things like that. And it's like, I think you are, and granted, this is me trying to give Mimi a little bail. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Because last episode we saw her on the knees. This episode we saw her on the floor. You get what I'm saying? And now we see her completely not listening to Ayo when he says it's over. So it's like, Mimi, what is the goal here? Because are you trying to basically get Ayo to fall back with you and things of that? I've seen her pull Ayo more times than I ever seen her pull Ayo in the past 3 episodes. Just so you can leave him in a foggy state of like, you know what? I still choose Josh. And I'm like, I don't put it past a woman, since it happened to me years ago, right? But I wonder if that is in play. Because in my head, I'm like, she doesn't owe Jessica any allegiance. No. Outside of like Mimi's character, of everybody just loving Mimi because of how she carry herself. But I'm just gonna put that on. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Are y'all like Blair, to where y'all feel like I'm giving Mimi too much credit?
I think so.
Right? To where she don't have the foresight. Maybe she just this loof, you get what I'm saying, that just don't know what's going on. Or maybe she's playing some type of game with Ayo. I don't know.
So the host, Maya Jama, comes in. Yeah. And she reveals the vote for who was the most compatible couple. Yeah. It was Nicole and Kieran. Okay. And our vulnerable couples are Lolly and Connor, Grace and Ruben, Jess and Ayo. Yeah. The most compatible couple will decide who is saved.
So Nicole and Kieran got to decide who will they save. Who do you think they will save?
I feel like that's so hard. It's between Jess and Ayo and Grace and Ruben. I think it might be Jess and Ayo.
Listen here.
I don't want it to be. I'm tired of the Io Mimi saga.
Me too. One of them got to go.
Yeah.
Listen here. I've been yelling at Mimi, telling her she needs to go home. If Io leaves, all is forgiven. Now she got no choice but to focus on Josh and things like that.
Yeah.
Maybe she may pull a Uma and say, I'm leaving too. Who knows, right? But
maybe it's not couples. I don't remember if they said it was couples who would be saved or not. So it could be Grace and Io that get saved.
Oh, as in one each? I think it's couples. Correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Yeah.
But Mimi, I was very prepared this episode to go off on you. But I'm gonna give you a break. I'm gonna give my voice a break. You get what I'm saying? But what did you think about this episode so far? It wasn't really a lot. We kind of made a little, just a little bit of lemonade. You get what I'm saying? But what do you think overall about this episode?
Episode was decent.
Yeah.
I feel like the Mimi and Io saga should be done now.
Yeah.
But I don't think it will because Mimi's not listening. So,
yeah.
And I think that there's going to still be some pulling of the chats and flirtation and I don't know. I'm just like, can somebody else take over and you know, kind of make things more interesting? But I don't think anybody can. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This episode was pretty cool. I am kind of done with the Mimi and Io thing, but at the same time, there's really no other drama going on at the moment.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I just find like Mimi's stock is just dropping with me like drastically. And I just want her to respect herself a little bit. Just a little bit. You get what I'm saying? Anything else?
That's all I got.
We will be back tonight with Love Island USA if y'all are still awake and if y'all want to hang with us. We see y'all then.
Bye.